Hello, beautiful souls. Happy Monday. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I do hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I myself enjoyed the magic of so many incredible things. I spent a big part of it outside, and I'm grateful for all those opportunities that I had to just simply breathe, enjoy, connect. It was wonderful, a profound weekend, and the weather was so cooperative. I loved it absolutely so much. Welcome and happy Monday. I'm talking today about the energy update for the week. Good morning. Come on in. I'll give you guys all a minute to come on in and settle down. um, it's if you see me looking at my phone, my the school bus for my youth is running late, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the notifications on that. So my apologies if I'm looking down. I tend not to have my phone on or need my phone during a live, but I need to know that the bus showed up. Welcome. Hi there. Good to see you all. Hi, Kayla. Good morning. Okay, so this week, let's talk about this week. We've got some interesting energy floating around. And there's a few reasons for it. Number one, we do have a lot of energy with the super full moon on Tuesday. We also have a partial eclipse that's coming in. So the energy is going to be quite bold, but in a very delicious way. So just a little bit of a recap on full moon energies, and this is a super full moon, super harvest full moon. Energy from a full moon tends to draw things out of us. So emotions, things that we need to let go, things that it's a pull out with the full moon, and the eclipses. And this is just a partial eclipse, but it's the last eclipse for this calendar year. And eclipse kind of bring in transformation and change. Endings are usually the theme with eclipses. So with this being a partial, the endings will be a little bit soft. It'll be softer endings. But there's also a big revealing of some new energy that's coming in with a big open mindedness that's kind of be shifting through us this week. So this week you may be for new things, new challenges, new beginnings, as well as just some gentle letting go, gentle emotions. It does feel gentle to me, even though we've got a few things with the astrology going on. But what I heard, and this really took me back, and I started hearing it over the weekend was, and at first I thought, am I just like hearing a commercial? But what I kept hearing was hello healing. Hello healing, and I heard it like Saturday and Sunday, and then I heard it last night in my meditation, and then I heard it again this morning, and I tapped into it. I tapped into it a little bit deeper. And one thing that I just kind of want to ask you guys: have you found yourself that when I kind of did my own reflection back when Spirit, showed me this? Have you found yourself? I'm going to use the word just a little bit easier, or I'm just gonna say it, not really caring about about other people's stuff or about what they're saying about you, or just not really feeling that the pull into old drama or into old stuff or into current drama. I really felt that this was coming forward at such a strong flow of energy. It's kind of like, yeah, right, right. There was this shoulder shrugging, and when I leaned into that with spirit, I was like, "What is this?" And then it got whispered to me again. Hello, healing. It's we are coming into that space of not getting pulled in to what's not ours. And I literally just felt my shoulders drop even deeper or even lower in my meditation. And sometimes we misinterpret that as, well, I just don't give a crap. It's coming from a healing space. When you sit with that, when you look at it, are you softer with that's their journey and this is my pathway? Have you been noticing this has been coming up? It's a hello healing. And I think sometimes with new versions of ourselves, we kind of overthink it. So if you find yourself overthinking it, have just been pushed too far, or all of this, and then we kind of pick ourselves apart. Maybe there's something wrong with me. It's hello healing. And I was like over the moon with how that felt. It just had a softer. Mandy says no F's to give. Yeah, it's hello healing. It's more, Mandy, of just a little bit of pull into alignment. It's healing from an aligned perspective. And I know I talk and rant about this all the time. Healing doesn't mean that we forget, right? Healing just gives or means that it's gone forever. Healing just means that we've moved through it. We've healed healed it, we've loved it. And that softer feeling of hello healing is going to be quite loud this week. So if and probably over the rest of the year, it's kind of how I felt that. I was so excited with it. And I'm still really excited. I'm still kind of stumbling on my words as I connect to that energy. It's a new energy. It's a new picture. It's revealing a new openness, a new open mind. New ways are coming in, and it's coming in from. And I'm really connecting it to this last eclipse, and I'm really connecting it where we are energetically and all of the work that we've been doing. It's a hello healing, and I think I'm going to be saying that I'm going to be using that phrase, I think, a lot when I really kind of look at my own growth. It's okay that this is how somebody else views me. It's okay that this is, not for me. It's a hello healing. And I love it. I am like salivating at the mouth with with how delicious this tastes. Endings are a big theme. And I think, we're always going through a lot of endings, right? Every day we go through an ending. When we go to bed, the day's ended. We are going through a lot of endings, but I just feel this healing energy that's pushing through. I also feel Mandy, I see that you need a t-shirt. Hello healing. I think I do. I think I do. And it's funny, Mandy, that you say that, because I've been working on a few things kind of behind the scenes with some merch for the Hawk and I, with t-shirts and some of the common things that I say. So it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. I'm just going to check my phone and see if my kid's on the bus. No bus yet. And it's so anyway, as you navigate through this week, as energy is drawn out, so do a lot of emotions. But I really feel the emotional space is going to come from a hello healing space, and I love that. I love that. The other thing that somebody said to me, Mandy, back on the t-shirt thing, is apparently I say frolic in the forest. Apparently, somebody mentioned that to me. You need to get that on a shirt, like a frolic in the forest. And the forest for me, if you break up that word, for rest, right? Forest. And so, yeah, I think I'll put the hello healing on that list too. I would love the Hawk and I merch. I'm really taking a good look at it. It'll be very simple, because I like simple. So maybe just a couple t-shirts or a couple hoodies with different sayings on it. Hello healing, and I'm welcoming the hello healing forest frolicer. Right? That should be on a hat, right? But I just have so much excitement for this healing energy that's coming in, and I truly feel that and being able to acknowledge that I've put that down now. I've put that down. Whatever you've been working through with other people's stuff or family stuff or your own stuff. It's all about the hello healing. And I just find that so so delicious. I just have a wee sip of my tea here, you guys. All right. So I do have to watch the time. I'm on Zoom this week, which is good because I can push it right right to the limits. I can feel your excitement is contagious. The energy coming in, Mandy, just has me, and I felt it over the weekend. I was doing my own forest frolicking all weekend, and I also went to a Toronto Blue Jays games in Toronto. Normally, I can't. Normally, the energy of going to something big like that in Toronto sends me. If you can imagine, what it would be like for me in, the Rogers Center with all of that energy with people and dead folks, usually it sends me. But even the people that were there, and when I kind of reflect back, I just want to kind of talk about this for a minute. I had such an incredible time with people, at the Rogers Center. It was so kind and so loving and so courteous, and it was incredible. It was incredible weekend with all the way around. Okay, let me go back up to the top. Yes, coffee cups. Oh, look at you guys giving me ideas. I love your ideas, you guys. Oh wow. Uh, Over 1,000 dead. Well, I'll bet you there was, like, you could probably multiply that big time. All right, so let's scroll back up. I'm gonna grab some questions. Look at you guys all coming in. Hey, Lam. Hey, Kayla, how was your in-person meeting? Oh, I loved my time with you, Kayla. It was so beautiful to meet you in person. It was great to manifest during this. Is it great to manifest during this moon? So, Wendy, you're gonna get, and as I always say, take what resonates, and always leave the rest. There's a little bit of a mixed opinion on this. So there's, if you were to look it up, is this a good time to manifest? I always feel personally, I'm always in my manifesting space. I'm always in that grounding space. There are some that are saying eclipses are not a great time for manifesting. So, I tend to say to put it into balance, manifest and let go, manifest and heal. I personally always feel it manifestation is there's never a bad time for it. So I'm always working on my own manifestations, including during eclipse season. I mean, I know there's mixed opinions on that, and it's okay. I always say do what resonates with you. Um, Jenny, do I have any past lives? We all have past lives. Many of us have had more past lives than others. And that's quite often the more past lives we have, I feel that the older the feeling of the soul, right? So souls tend not to have necessarily an age, but more of an experience, right? So, souls, I don't want to say the younger because that gets misinterpreted that there's something else going on with souls, but souls who haven't had many experience have a younger feeling. Souls who have had many, many, many experiences have been an older feeling. I do feel, Janine, when I just kind of lean in there a little bit, I feel like you've had many past lives. Let's kind of scroll down here. Look at all you guys coming in. Good morning, Lana. My name is Jennifer. I have really been struggling lately, and I'm wondering if there's any messages from my spirit guides. So Jennifer, welcome to the channel. I'm not recognizing your names, but so thank you for joining us here today. And if you're not new, welcome back. I really feel that, Jennifer, I feel like I've got to give yourself some grace. I feel like you've been a little bit extra hard on yourself, or I think you're judging yourself a little bit, like really hard for having a struggle. I feel like I've just got to tap in with yes, you're struggling and kind of working through some of the emotions with that, because I feel like I keep pushing things down and perhaps it's bubbling up now. And I feel like I've got to be really soft with you. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you're struggling, but I need you to kind of bring that in the balance that you're also doing the best from where you're standing. I really feel like I've got to kind of balance that. I'm just going to acknowledge the bus finally came. So I'm just going to acknowledge my kiddo here. Have a beautiful day. There we go. There, now I can put the phone down. Thank goodness the bus arrived. Okay, here we go. Laura, yes, I have been good at letting go of issues that truly aren't mine to hold. And Laura, thanks for sharing that. And have you been feeling, Laura, like that deep feeling of hello healing? It's like it doesn't bother you. Like it's like other things that don't bother you as deeply. And I'll use the word knee jerk reaction. Perhaps you're having less and less knee jerk reactions to stuff that's not yours, right? Not mine. Is there anything I can do to open myself up to being able to be regressed or hypnotized? Oh, that is a beautiful question. And it's an easy one. Meditation and quieting your mind. So past life regression is simply a deep form of meditation. Some people call it hypnosis. It is a form of hypnosis, but it's not a stage hypnosis. You're in full control. So I feel like that's what she said. What will help is a little bit of meditation practice around letting go, not needing to control, right? And it doesn't have to be a deep meditation. It can be simply just kind of like pretending you got the steering wheel and just letting it go. It's more of a letting go process without having to control it. I don't feel like you have any fear. I don't, because sometimes I don't feel that with you, but sometimes with people can be very fearful of a regression. What will I see? What will it be like? It's a very unique experience, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of regressions with people, and I've never had anything terrible happen. It's always been about healing and understanding certain perspectives of our journey here and certain lessons. But I always get my clients to practice letting go and practice quieting your mind. So whatever gets you there, whatever brings you into that space of just being able to quiet your mind, any type of meditation or even watching the clouds float by. And I usually say give that a good 2 months, if not longer, before you dive into that. Um, Wendy, does Spirit have any messages for me today? Wendy, I feel like a few things. So number one, as soon as I see bare feet, it's a little bit of grounding. I just feel like I've got to turn up the volume a little bit on grounding. So are you finding yourself feeling a little bit uncertain lately, Wendy? Like you're not quite sure where the ground is or where you're going or what's going on around you? I feel like I just gotta increase the grounding a little, just a smidge, just a little pinch more. I feel like I've got to go there. I also feel, Wendy, that I really need to start writing. And it can just be simply in journals. It can be on a scrap piece of paper. I feel like with this writing, there's like not just a creative side, as far as like creative writing goes, but I feel like there's like this creative spiritual side to you. And I feel like that's trying to kind of like push its way to the surface a little bit. Perhaps you're going to come up with new creative ways for spiritual practices or creative ways to, to help other people or to help yourself. I feel like there's a creativeness, and I feel once I just start writing, and I want to write and doodle is kind of how I feel there. Okay, where did we go? Joy. Lana, I was curious if Spirit has a message for me. Thanks a lot for all the amazing work you do for this world. And Joy, thanks for being part of the journey and for all the work that you all do here. Message. Joy, first, I have to, as far as at first, I have to say you have done an incredible job peeling off some layers. I literally started feeling I was being peeled, right? Like there was like peeling and different versions of you, and kind of like peeling them away. I feel like I've got to acknowledge what a great job. I feel that so strongly, and and sometimes we may not realize that we've chipped away at something that's been crusty for a little bit. I feel like I've got to acknowledge that. And I also feel now that there's like you're coming into a timeline here of planting new seeds. So I don't know if you've been thirsty for knowledge, or perhaps you're just curious, like heightened curiosity, but it's about I go inward. Like it's about you. And I feel like sometimes you struggle about with that, with it's making something about you. Like I just feel like I've got to say it's you need to go inward, and it's a delicious thing to have moments where it's all about you. You first, you plugging yourself energetically in. I feel like there's just this whole new beginning that's kind of, and there's a curiosity there, and I love that so much. I would love a Hawk and I merch. You guys are really loving the Hawk and I merch idea. Okay, I'll see if I can accelerate that a little bit. The forest is my favorite place. I want that one. Forest frolicker. I know that is so funny. The forest frolicker. um, it's a delicious space, right? For those of you and who really love nature and love to ground. I literally, and I was out with a friend on Friday, and I was showing her this is how I frolic in the forest, and I literally lay down and I roll around, and I like to frolic and have a good time, and it's delicious. This is how we frolic. Okay, give Lana a like on the lives, everyone. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate all that love. Lana, does spirit see me in the water facing waterfront condo that I've been manifesting anytime soonish? Timelines are always difficult, aren't they? Wendy, I feel like this pause. I do absolutely, I do feel, and I feel like your view is a little bit closer than what you may think. Okay, you say waterfront, but it feels like I can open up my window and it's literally right there because I can just, I can feel it, like the wind, and I can just feel the water. I also feel that I have to just say, trust the timeline. There's something here, timeline wise, that you're going to be very grateful for, whether that's, interest rates are coming in lower, or whether it's going to be a place that you didn't expect but absolutely love. And I can hear you saying, "Oh, now I know why it took so long." I feel like I've got to say, trust the timeline. I know we get impatient. We humans are the most impatient. We want it now. We want it now. And we don't understand why it's taken so long. Just really lean into that and trust, because I can feel you with thank goodness. Thank goodness I waited and I held off. So kind of trust that. Yeah, coffee cups, Kayla, you crack me up. Crack me up. Oh, I lost. Here we go. Okay, Mandy. My husband's employer has been putting him off since May and hasn't rectified the situation. Does he need to be or open to a new job, or are they going to rectify the oversight? Mandy, so I mean, I know you know this. I always leave open doors. So even for me now, I am always looking for new opportunities. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to leave mediumship, but even new opportunities and new places to go. Perhaps I need to consider a new location for tours. I feel like I've got to get him to just constantly be open to new opportunities that serve my highest good. I do feel so. I feel a bit of a. I almost feel like he needs to start looking in order for the employer to rectify the oversight. And it's not that he doesn't have to say anything. I just feel energetically it's about honoring himself and his worth. He doesn't have to tell the employer I'm looking for new work. It has nothing to do with a threat. It has to do with honoring himself. And I feel when he honors himself that way, the energy kind of shifts. So Mandy, I just kind of have a question. Does he struggle to honor himself, like to stand up for what his own power, stand in his own power? Does he struggle with speaking his needs or his truth? Not necessarily to you, but openly. Because I feel like the lesson here here is to kind of like honor yourself, and then it kind of flows. When we don't honor ourselves and our value and our self-worth, I don't like to use the word block. So I'm going to use the word hold back. It holds back, right? It holds things back. If we're holding ourselves back, it holds energy back, and it holds opportunity back. So I feel that if he can just simply start energetically, just flipping through Indeed or whatever, employment services is in your location, or just simply, asking around or keeping an eye out on opportunities. And I feel like that's something that I need to turn the volume up for him as well, is that whole honoring my worth space. So I will leave that, with you there, Mandy. But I feel like as soon as he does, I feel like it like clears that whole back energy. It kind of moves up. It moves it, because now I'm honoring myself and I know my worth. Right? If we truly hold ourselves back with lack of worthiness, it's kind of, I know you know this, Mandy, but that's the kind of energy that continues to come. Situations that don't honor us either. That's powerful, right? Like it's an emission of energy, right? And I know you know that, Mandy, but it's kind of more for everybody. What we emit is kind of like, it's law of attraction. So, and even the simple things like not honoring ourselves, not standing up for our worth, or not practicing our worthiness, it kind of holds things here for us, right? I hope that resonates there, Miss Mandy. Coffee cups would be amazing. I'm surprised that people would be connecting the coffee cups. But I love the idea. Coffee cups and water bottles, maybe, because water. Yeah, I'm going to give a lot of thought and start looking into that a little bit deeper. That's awesome to hear. Thank you. You're very welcome, Lana. That's what I think as well. My cat's energy is crazy this morning. Some of it's crazy cat energy. Some of it is also energy. Remember, we've got this super moon and the last eclipse of the year. Yeah, last part. It's only a partial eclipse, but animals are very, very, very in tune. At the event that I went at, I posted it on Insta and Facebook. I had a glorious time on yesterday. I was at an event with some horses. It was horse and carriage event at a heritage park, and the energy of the horses was like so. They were so loud. I was like almost had to turn down the volume on them. They were just so ecstatic and like over the top with their own energy. And I really, nature connects to nature, right? Animals connect to the nature, our nature, so they connect to that energy. So I wouldn't be surprised, those of you with fur babies, if you're seeing them a little bit extra wild over the next couple days. And I also want to tap back into with this whole energy of the eclipse and the full moon. That energy is going to be quite powerful for a month. So everything that I said about transformation and endings and tapping into that, drawing out what no longer serves us, that whole open-mindedness and that hello healing energy, that's going to be really loud throughout for the next 30 days. So, keep track of that. I always, I'm a big one for journaling, because sometimes we don't necessarily remember or retain. And sometimes it's great to reflect back and say, yeah, I can really resonate with that, with how with what you wrote before. Um, Tammy, hi, Lana. Anything from spirit for me today? I just had the desire, Tammy, to just want to like literally throw my arms around you and squeeze you. Know that you're being held. That's from them upstairs. So I really feel like they're like holding you just in such love and some light. I also feel, Tammy, that I need to just gently remind you that the power of the okay, I'm just gonna tap into this. The power of the love that you had here is still as strong as ever. So I hope that resonates there with you, Tammy. I also feel like I need to say you're doing a really good job. You're doing a really good job with like living your life and going forward. Yes, it's bumpy. Yes, we trip. Yes, we struggle, but you're doing a really good job. And I just have to say you're held in love and light. Okay. Wendy, I've been trying to communicate with my spirit guides and angels. Well done, Wendy, for a while now, but I just don't know their signs they have for me and how to pick up on it. But my numbers. So Wendy, this is a very, very common. So number one, this is very common. Sometimes it can take a while before we can truly tap in. I always lean into Wendy. Try this as a little bit of a help. Um, I know you're with me, and thank you for coming. And just kind of pull back a little bit with with needing the validation with signs. Pull that back a little bit because sometimes the signs, can be just something as beautiful as the sunset, right? So that's the thing with spirit guides is we don't always get the signs because we're out when we're looking for them. Just tap into the knowing. I know you're here and thank you for coming, or bringing them with you and just acknowledging that they're with you. Just try more of the acknowledgement side of that, Wendy. And if you're already doing that, just continue it. I know you're here. We can become I don't want to use the word too focused, but we can lean too far in the needing validation. And I one thing that I've learned immensely with spirit is to really step out of that. And I think my final last pullback from any validation was when I went to Ireland. Ireland did something to me on that end of the scope that was just profound. I just know. Right. I'm not going to try and figure it out. I just know. And it has literally shifted so many things for me, both with my readings and my physical life. And when you look at some of the postings that I posted from that trip, where was I? Where was I mostly? I was outside grounding, frolicking on the cliff, right? It's the whole process of just trusting and allowing. And it's the same thing with the spirit guides, and it's the same thing with our loved ones and our ancestors. It's just about the ultimate trust level. And then the magic just continues to grow and elevate. Ah, me, mine. Thank you so much, Lana. That makes 100% sense. I'm so grateful that that resonated there with you. I recently hired two different people to help me around the house. One is Andrew, and the other one is Michael. Same names as my brother and son. What is the message? That's very interesting, lady. So, Dee Dee, I'm going to lean in here a little bit. And I feel like, okay, so with your brother and your son, I feel, has there been, because I feel like the healing energy's been turned up. I feel like there's been like, it just feels like some healing, whether that be your healing or their healing. And I feel like that doorway, it's being whispered to you is always open. So does that make sense there to you, Dee Dee? The door of healing and growth is always open, family wise. So I just feel like either you've pushed through something and that you're just allowing that healing and that door to be open, or that there's something kind of in the background a little bit with relationships and healing and growing. I'm just going to leave that for you, and you can just chime in if you like there, Dee Dee. Hi, Lana. My older sister's moved abroad, running from many things, leaving her kids behind. Will she return, or is this for the long run? She struggles with alcohol. So, this is a tough one to tap into because she's got choice and free will. So, I do feel like moving abroad is offering her up some healing as well. Yes, she may be avoiding and running, but I also feel like there's offering some healing. Will she return, or like will she pick it up? That is a really, I hope that she does. And I would continue to send her that energy of, healing is here for you to pick up. Right. So I feel with, I can't necessarily say long or short term because it's her choice and free will. I also feel like when it comes to her kids, I feel like I've just got to and I know they're very much supported, but I feel like I've got to turn the volume up on that. I just feel like I just need to put a little bit more focus, a little bit more grounding, a little bit more holding space, a little bit more of allowing them to talk. I feel like I've got to lean into that. I would always, and I'm sure that you do, sending your sister as much healing. For me, I need clarity. I feel like she can't see. And and I get that you shared that there's a struggle with alcohol, but I would like really think about little things. What can I do? What would be a good one? Just visualizing healing energy being sent to her. You can literally type an email, healing love and light being sent to her. You can just simply get an envelope and put in little words like healing love and light, and send it out to the universe. I feel like I've got to say support, but from here, and sending her all that energy. It's a hard one to know if she'll return because of the choice and free will, right? It's and I think that, we always we do know that we can't make decisions for people. Will she pick it up or won't she pick it up? That's her path with it, right? Okay. Um Oh, I pray your sister will have spiritual awakening and solve the problem behind her alcohol. That is beautiful support there, Janine. I just love how supportive this spiritual community is here of each other. It's just such beautiful support and only support. I love that here. Okay, I lost my spot. Okay, there we go. Janine's joy. Oh, you made me cry. It is so true as always, but this one brought me to tears. Happy tears to hear about peeling the layers. Thank you. I love that for you, Joy. And then, Joy, I just want to kind of tap in just to kind of whisper lovingly in your ear. We're always peeling back layers, right? Like we're always, every day there's something to peel back, right? And you've just been, I think that when we stay in that, because I truly don't, I, I don't feel there's a ceiling to our spiritual growth. I don't feel like we get so far up and it's like, here I am, perfect, all perfect and fluffy bunny. I feel like we're always peeling that back and doing the work, Joy. I'm so proud of you for diving in and doing that work. Wendy, thanks, Lan. I've been trying to be closer to my spirit guides and angels and affirmations and manifestation. My manifestations haven't been coming forth for a long time now. Why could that be? Okay, so Wendy, I know you know this. I, I don't hold all the answers, but Wendy, sometimes we don't understand why it doesn't come. Sometimes, it's almost like I have to say, okay, if it's not meant for me, I'm okay with that. I'm open to receive it, and this is what I would like. I'm also open to other possibilities from the universe. So if the universe wants to take me in a new direction, and I'm gonna share a little something, Wendy, with you know not that I want to make it about me, but I just want to give you an example. For the longest time, I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed what I wanted with my mediumship. And I kept, it was for many, 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 many years. And I kept on with spirit. And I kept on with spirit. And and it wasn't happening and it wasn't happening and it wasn't happening. And I thought, I'm going to throw in the towel. All right, I'm not meant to do this. And the moment that I surrendered to it and just said, you know what, here I am. Like, where are we going? And I started more of the allowing and just kind of trusting was for my highest good. It was like an explosion. I started doing so many different things that fill my soul. With the animal communication, with the motivational speaking, with the youth, with cold cases. It was suddenly like this whole umbrella just went boom. Here you go, right? And it was the allowing space, and and the path that I needed to take had I to get there was just simply to allow. I feel, Wendy, I don't feel like you're doing anything wrong with your manifestations. I feel like you're asking, you're so open and you're so loving. Work a little bit now on allowing. Take the trust just a little bit deeper. Just allow it's for your highest good. You're going to get there when you get there. I get it, Wendy, because I feel your frustration. It took me a long time to be able to put it down and say, all right, universe, I give it to you. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's here. I know it's coming. It's going to come in a way that I need it to come, and just work a little bit on the allowing. I want it yesterday. Yeah. I want it. Yes. I want it now. Right. I want it now. And I share all the time. There were times where I felt like I had that gate across my chest like a racehorse. I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. And the gate wasn't lifting. And I often said, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Maybe this isn't going to happen this way. And then when I allowed it to unfold and I truly surrendered to take me where I need to go. Right. As long as I've got the basics, take me where I want to go. Okay. All right. Okay. Laura, thanks, Lan. I'm very excited about the new condo, whenever it does come. I trust the universe 100%. I'm just pumped. The excitement is profound, isn't it? Right? The excitement is profound. What do you recommend for me to get grounded? Spend time outside with nature, maybe. Wendy, I always say this: do what resonates to you. So if you are a nature lover and that resonates with you, spend time outdoors. If it's not your space, and then I would ask you, what is your space? What is you? Is it water? And is it earth? Is it fire? Like, what is it with you that kind of helps you calm down? So, is it simply laying on the ground watching the clouds float by? The earth is, where we're living, and we're highly connected to it, and it has a powerful energy. But I also believe the other side of it. There are people, and I have people personally in my life who don't like to go outside. It's either too hot, too cold, too many bugs. They don't, and that's okay, right? They find their own way, to ground and to figure it out. I always say, do what resonates with you. People can tell you 1,000 different ways, and if you don't feel it, It's about feeling into the energy, right? I mean, in the winter, I can't always get out to the forest, for a few different reasons. But I have a little bucket in my garage of dirt and beach sand that I've collected over the summer, and I will put my hands in it over the winter, or I'll put a pinch in my winter boots. I'll just put a pinch of beach sand in my winter boots just to help me stay grounded, right? So whatever works for you, and sometimes we need to change our spiritual practices, right? I love the water. I love it so much. I love going down to the beach or down to the river. But in the winter, soaking in the bathtub doesn't do it for me, right? So I just change my grounding practices in the winter when I can't necessarily put my feet in the ice cold water at the lake. Okay, this is a pattern since I've known him, says Mandy. There it is. Specifically in work and employers. He doesn't even like to talk to me about it. So, Mandy, I think and I get it when it's your husband, when it's your partner's income and it affects the household. I understand where you're coming here too, Mandy. But I think, holding that door open for him, and planting the little seeds. I plant seeds all the time, but it's somebody else, is they have to water them, right? So I would continue to support from your own lane, and hopefully he, in his own time, in his own way. And I can hear you. Well, it better be soon. I can hear you here, Mandy. But I feel like, when we surrender and we just allow, the hello healing for somebody else, right? You're very welcome, Miss Mandy. All right. Oh my goodness, I gotta get going soon, guys. Good morning, Lana. Is there anything you can tell me about Faye around me? um I feel it changes a lot. I feel, like the little fairy doors. I feel like I have to say always, I'll never lose their sense of wonder and looking for them. I also feel, that with the playful energy that the phase bring, I feel like you need to dance in that a little bit more. Like just literally dancing. I feel like I need to get you in that. I also feel, with that magic, I'm also up high up in, like, I mean, I know trees are high, but I'm really near the top of them. Are you around treetops? Or like, I feel like I've got to look at the treetops there. It's almost like that sparkly fairy lights, but they're like, it's treetops for me. So I'm curious why I'm seeing treetops there. Um, Interesting perspective there about how I'm seeing that. I feel the excitable wild energy too. Oh, I'm really glad, Mandy. Yep. My dog too. Puck is even wilder than usual. Tamara just saw this. I can't join, but thoughts are with you guys. Sending love and light. Okay, you guys, I really have to get going. I know there's a ton of questions here and responses, but really have to get going. Okay. I've heard that too, Lana. Act as if you're ready. You already have what you wanting, then let it go. Absolutely. It comes. That's where I have issues of letting it go, but I really want to work on. Wendy, and I know I said I was going to go, but I am going to grab this. We want to control everything, right? And that's the thing that, is hard for most of us, myself included. We want to control it. And one of the greatest things I've learned is how to surrender and allow. It has, and the trust factor, right? But it has been huge. I'll tell you, things shifted immensely when I learned, and I'm still learning. I'm still working on deepening my allowing and my surrendering. But when we kind of put down the control, right? And when you think about how much we want to control, and parts of our lives we do need to be in control of, but the spiritual journey is more about allowing. So, I mean, you can control when you're making supper most nights. You can control certain things. You can control, but surrender to it. Just allow. Try and work, Wendy, on, I'm just going to allow. I'm going to allow myself to have an experience. I'm going to allow myself without trying to control it. It feels difficult in the beginning, but once you kind of tap into that flow, Wendy, the other thing that really helps, and I'm not sure where you're from, Wendy, but if you can do, a kayaking or canoeing, where you can do or even floating in a tube, like, like a water tube, where you can allow the water to take you, rather than try and paddle against resistance. That sometimes we just need to kind of work on a spiritual practice that kind of represents allowing, right? Just I'm just going to allow myself, even something as simple as I'm going to allow myself to sit here until I feel the desire to get up, right? The allowing part. Then it trickles into all aspects of your life with just I'm just going to allow. I'm going to allow myself, right? I hope that that helps you there, Wendy. And it's a great question. Great boundaries. Have a magical day. Love that. All right. Let's see what spirit animal we're pulled to today. I really, yeah, I, right to the limit, man. Right to the limit is where I'm going today. Let's set our intentions. Raccoon. In spite of any doubts you may have, the resources you need for the current situation are readily available. There's some sort of deception going on around you that you can discern by listening and trusting your intuition. Rather than being goal orientated, this is the time for indulging your curiosity and open ended exploration. Pay attention to the signs and omens that suggest you're getting messages from the ancestors and your deceased loved ones. It's important to remain emotionally and mentally flexible the next few days, and events will require you to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances. Wow, I love that. A little bit of everything in there, a little bit of the allowing, a little bit of the transformation, a little bit of the um what else was in there? Being goal orientated in a time for indulging in your curiosity. Open minded. We talked about open mindedness, and I think being less goal orientated is also surrender, right? Wendy, can I get a call like Zoom or something with you hopefully soon? Wendy, you can go to the website, thehawkandI.com. I'll put it here in the chat. All sessions are booked through the website, hawkandI.com. HawkandI.com. It's also here on the channel. I will be opening up some opportunities for more bookings. My calendar is still fairly open, and I will be offering up that. Speaking of Zoom, any info on healing circles, I do have the in-person one that's going to be posted this week. We will be gathering in a divine feminine circle. That is going to be, watch for that if you're local, and then the Zoom one will be offered right around the same time. So that is coming there. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. I should probably check if I'm here on Wednesday because I did not do that. I think I am. I think I am back on Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday morning. We'll have a chit chat. Maybe we'll talk a bit more on the subject, and you guys can share how you're making out with the energy. Take good care. Much love.